What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. This is gonna be the updated guide for the venomous lizard in the game. The guide that I have on my channel was made about 2.5 years ago, at the time when we did not really know a lot about warpets in the game. The one that I'm gonna show you right now is the perfect build for the venomous lizard for open field combat. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Let's get started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, the venomous lizard is classified as the best infantry warpet in the whole of Call of Dragons. It is the most efficient warpet to use in open field combat, especially if you're going to be using the infantry troop type. Before I show you how the skills of the venomous lizard work, we need to understand the nature of heroes in open field. So I'm going to be switching this out and putting the venomous lizard just to explain how it works and to show you guys that the venomous lizard is the best infantry warpet for open field combat. As soon as you enter battle, you're going to start accumulating rage, and when you play as an infantry, you'll probably get full rage after maybe 6 or 7 seconds with the help of your artifact, give or take. When you play infantry, you're going to be targeted by more than 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, and you could die in less than 10 seconds. This is the reason the venomous lizard is the best infantry warpet in the whole of Call of Dragons. As soon as you get full rage, your hero is going to cast a rage skill. And then 2 seconds later, your deputy is going to cast a rage skill as well. And then 2 seconds after your deputy casts a rage skill, your warpet is then going to be casting its own rage skill. Now, when it comes to the venomous lizard, it is a pet that does not require a rage skill. And that's the good thing with the venomous lizard. It is the reason this pet is the #1 pet for infantry in Call of Dragons. We got other pets in the game as well for infantry. For example, the Mossrock Orcs is a fantastic pet, but this pet is dependent on a rage skill. You could die before even casting the talent skill of this pet. Another one that we're going to have a look at is the Brimstone Orcs. This one also is another pet that requires rage. You could die before you even cast this talent skill. There are so many infantry warpets in the game, and they all depend on rage skill. So the venomous lizard is the best way to go if you're going to be building a pet for infantry in open field. With that out of the way, let us check out the venomous lizard and see what it's capable of doing. We're going to start off with the infection talent skill. The attack range is very far. It says 12% chance to inflict poison on an attacker for 3 seconds when your legion is hit by a normal attack. Poison deals damage every second. Damage type physical damage factor is going to be this amount 3 times for 3 seconds, which is massive. Now when you look over here, you can see that you only have 12% chance, but when you're getting hit by more than 10, 20, 30, 50 people on the field, you will be triggering this thing every single second. And you need to get lucky. You should get lucky so that different people trigger this thing every second. Because the first person is going to hit you on turn #1, trigger this thing, is going to take this damage 3 times. And then the second turn, somebody else triggers this pet, is going to take the damage 3 times. Turn #3, another person triggers this pet, that person is going to take this damage 3 times. Turn #4, somebody else triggers the pet, he takes damage 3 times. Turn #5, somebody else trigger the pet, he takes damage 3 times. This is why this venomous lizard is classified as the best infantry warpet in the whole game as of right now. When it comes to small scale fights where you have chance to cast your rage skill, other warpets might outshine the venomous lizard. But in those big fights where you got many enemies, which is what happens most of the time with infantry, the venomous lizard is going to be at the top of the list. It is one of the best warpets for infantry in the whole game. And right now, many people are just building like 3 or 4 venomous lizard for their infantry lineup. They don't really care about other warpets, and I think that is a very good reason. However, there are some good infantry warpets that you can use as well. For example, the Mossrock Orcs is another good warpet, but the venomous lizard is going to be the way to go if you want an immortal warpet that you're going to be using forever in the game. This warpet is going to be useful forever. So if you want to invest the venomous lizard is going to be the one that you build. Now let us go to the pet sanctuary and see what skills you're going to put on your venomous lizard to make it very, very good for open field combat. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, let us have a look at the best build for the venomous lizard in Call of Dragons. It is right here, guys. What you see on the screen is the absolute best build for the venomous lizard in the game. Now, so many of you are not going to be getting good attributes with more than 8 skill slots. 7 skill slot is a good place to start, and you're going to build your pet exactly the way you see it here on the screen. This is the best build for the venomous lizard as of right now with 7 skill slots. So we're going to hit the skills and see what to do. The first one is going to be your infection, which is the talent skill of the pet. You're going to put the advanced counter strike, which is going to work well with the counter strike skill. So these two are going to be the biggest damage dealer on your warpet. You're going to put the 2 different crit rates to help you do crits on 2 different skills on this pet. So these 2 crit rates are going to crit the advanced counter strike. They will crit the infection as well, which is exactly what you need. And then you have a fatal bite. I mean a tooth and claw. This tooth and claw is going to be boosting this skill right here, which is the advanced counter strike. It's also going to be boosting the infection. Tooth and claw does not boost counter strike because counter strike is a counter attack skill that is dependent on the strength of your hero. So this skill is not going to boost the counter strike. And you're also going to put a fatal bite. As soon as you get criticals with these 2 skills right here, this fatal bite is going to come in and give you more damage. It will allow the advanced counter strike to do more damage and the infection to do more damage. Remember, guys, this infection is going to trigger every single turn, especially when you're being targeted by multiple enemies on the field. And it can trigger on different enemies, allowing you to do this damage multiple times. And since this thing happens 3 times per second, you have more chances to crit the skills and also boost that damage. You also have another booster over here, which is absolutely perfect. So this is how you build a venomous lizard with 7 skill slots. Now, when you get 8 skill slots, you're going to put this skill right here, which is the intense infection. This is the skill that you're going to add on your pet if you get 8 skill slots, because this intense infection is going to be boosting the infection, which is exactly what you need. Now, there is another venomous lizard skill right here, which I didn't mention. It is known as the advanced infection. You're going to get this at the end of the season. This one says infection trigger chance 2% plus 2.27%. It gives you another 4% trigger chance, making this one 16% chance to inflict poison. But here's the thing, you don't need this skill. This skill is not necessary because 12% trigger chance is more than enough, especially when you're being hit by multiple enemies on the field. So giving it another 4% is not going to change anything because you're going to keep triggering this almost every single second when you fight on the field. So you can save yourself 4 ambers and just use it on somebody else. So this is how you build your venomous lizard. You build it exactly the way you see here on the screen. When you get 8 skill slots, you're going to add the intense infection and you are good to go. Now, some of the skills are going to be very expensive, but that's what you got to do in order to get a good venomous lizard. As you can see here, I also have a second venomous lizard. I will be swapping out this skill with the intense infection. This one is just a place filler. So it's gonna be this one right here. When I say learn, it's gonna go to this skill slot. It's gonna replace this one later on. As soon as I get enough exchange coins, this skill is gonna be going over here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you build the venomous lizard in Call of Dragons. Now, I decided to make this video because the one I have on my channel was created about 2.5 years ago, at the time when we didn't really have a lot of knowledge about warpets in the game. So this is going to be the updated guide for the venomous lizard. This is exactly how you build it. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. See you guys in the next one.